$30 billion are left unclaimed by America's seniors every year. Can you believe that? A recent study by the National Council on Aging found that millions of seniors are leaving benefits behind, and that's making life harder than it has to be for a lot of people. That's why I love doing these weekly resource roundups with you. My team and I carefully comb through tons of headlines from all over the United States to try to find all of the programs that are available to help you so that you don't miss out on any ways that you can save money or get free stuff. Now, as always, we do have a lot of ground to cover today. We're going to be talking about those forgotten benefits, new Medicaid transportation tools, and so much more. So please stay tuned and let's dive right in. So that $30 billion in unclaimed benefits mainly comes from three sources. About $4 billion comes from overlooked Medicare savings programs, around $6 billion comes from unclaimed SNAP food benefits, and nearly $11 billion comes from unused Medicare extra help benefits. That is a lot of money being left on the table. Now, if you don't have food benefits, that's pretty easy to fix. You can apply for those online in most areas. If you prefer, your local food bank, community action agency, or area agency on aging may be able to help you with those applications. Now, navigating Medicare, on the other hand, can be ridiculously complicated. So it doesn't surprise me that a lot of people are missing out on those benefits. If you need help figuring that out, please contact your state's state health insurance assistance program for unbiased advice that you can actually trust. If you need to reach them, you can usually get their number from your local area agency on aging, but I do not recommend that you just Google that because there are so many scammers that try to imitate that line, and I want you to make sure that you're actually talking to the impartial state hotline and not somebody who's going to try to make a quick buck off of you. So while we're talking about forgotten benefits, I want to talk about another program that a lot of people miss, Medicaid Transportation. Medicaid is required to help you get to and from your Medicaid covered appointments. It's a mandatory coverage, but a lot of people don't know about this. In fact, just a few weeks ago, I was talking to a friend of mine who's been really worried about how she was going to afford to get to and from her son's surgical appointment because it was scheduled 3 hours away from where they live. She was so surprised when I told her that Medicaid had to pay for that. But sure enough, when she talked to them, they are not only going to cover the cost of her transportation, but they're even going to pay for her to stay in a hotel overnight due to the distance. So if you need help getting to or from a medical appointment, you have to reach out and let the Medicaid office know that in advance. Some states are doing what they can to make this even easier by partnering with companies like Uber and Lyft. Arizona has been doing this since 2019, but Mississippi is just now getting on board this month. According to the report that I read, Mississippi decided to do this because so many people were missing their appointments. In some areas, the no-show rate for Medicaid patients was up to 75% because people just couldn't get there. Many Medicaid providers in Mississippi have apparently stopped doing wellness checks because people aren't showing up for them, and that creates a whole different set of problems. So this new initiative should help with that. So make sure you talk to the Medicaid office if you need help getting to your appointments. To my understanding, these rides, even if they are from Uber and Lyft, have to be coordinated through the Medicaid transportation line in order to be covered. If you just call or book with Uber or Lyft directly, you're probably going to end up paying for that yourself. So please don't do that. Talk to the Medicaid transportation line in advance so that they fully cover that cost for you. Speaking of fully covered costs, let's talk about some great Veterans Day freebies that are coming up this week. If you have a DD-214 or a Veterans ID card, you may be able to get some great deals, including free haircuts from Great Clips, free burgers from Red Robin, free breakfasts from actually several locations, and even 60% off Sam's Club memberships. We've got all the details on those and other Veterans Day freebies on our website, so I'm not going to go into that too much here. Freebies are great, but cash is better. And you could get some extra cash in your pocket when you file a claim on an upcoming class action settlement. I'm only going to go over a few today, but we do have a list of over 10 on our website this week. So first up, the deadlines for the 1+9 smartphone settlement and the Dude Wipes false advertising settlement are both coming up this week. If you've bought either of those products, you really need to check that out. Now, if you have worked for, let's see what the company name is really quick. If you've worked at Riley Foam or Global Trade Hub in Illinois, there are a few settlements there that might apply to you. Those deadlines are coming up on November 18th and November 14th, respectively. But the settlement I want to talk to you about today is the Adapt Health Spam Texts settlement. This one is expected to be worth $160 if you qualify. Now, if this company kept texting you about CPAP supplies after you told them to stop, you might be eligible for that cash, but you have to claim it by November 21st or you'll miss your chance. Ironically, if you thought you missed your chance for the $1,000 October SKIP grant, it turns out that you did not, because our sponsor SKIP has extended that deadline to November 6th so that everyone has more time to apply. You can get all the details on that when you claim your free SKIP account using the affiliate link below. Oh, there's one more thing I need to update you on really quick before we transition into the local news segment. You may remember a little while ago I put out a video about Rent Reporters, the program that helped me buy a house after my family had been homeless for a while. They raise your credit by reporting your rent to the credit bureaus. When I was using them, they could only report to 2 of the credit bureaus, but now they can report to all 3, which is amazing. And their website says that they can raise your score an average of 40 points in just 10 days, which if you're struggling to get a rental like I was, is huge. 40 points can make a huge difference. Anyway, so just be sure to go check that out using my affiliate link below. Anyway. All right, local news time, and there is a lot there today. We are starting to see a lot of free Thanksgiving and free Christmas programs roll out, as well as the seasonal utility assistance programs and just a ton of stuff. So there's a lot of local news right now. The Midwest had some of the craziest updates this week, so I'm just going to go over those really quick. In Missouri, the executive director of a nonprofit has been accused of stealing millions of dollars from a program designed to feed low-income kids. And she allegedly spent that money on a $1 million home for herself, homes for her relatives, and a $1.4 million gift to a romantic partner who then used about $200,000 of that money to buy a fancy car. If this person is convicted of this theft, she could face more than 20 years in prison. So I'm glad to see that they're enforcing that kind of fraud, because that is a special kind of despicable to steal money that was designed to feed children. So Nebraska is also facing scrutiny for how they're spending or not spending the money they've been given to help low-income families. The state's TANF Reserve Fund is holding on to more than $125 million, even though child poverty is apparently rising in the state. Concerned lawmakers held a hearing to figure out what was going on, and the hearing revealed that the state only gives out about 30% of what it gets from the federal government for low-income low-income assistance, because so few people qualify for TANF now. Now, that's obviously terrible, but there is some good news in our update as well. In Minnesota, there is an exciting new law that forces hospitals to help patients apply for financial assistance before spending those medical bills to collections. We've got the details on that, as well as a ton of ways that you can get free winter gear, free holiday meals, and just so much more. In this week's Resource Roundup, we've got updates for 37 states, including Alabama, Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Hopefully there's some states in there that we don't usually hear, so that's good news. You can get all of the information on all of that on our website at lowincomerelief.com/news by clicking the thumbnail that matches this video. It should be the first one there at the top of the list, unless you're watching this more than a week after it airs. So thank you for watching, and please don't forget to go check out our EBT update for November. It hasn't got a lot of views, which is kind of weird, but there is some important information in there as well, and I will see you there. Have a great week.